Hello, hello? Here, talk in.
Hello? Test, test.
Okay, it's good now. They can hear us, can't see us. Come on now, download. Oh, there it goes. Let's go. We're going to be right with you, YouTube. YouTube's waiting for us. Don't say anything. They can incriminate you in court of law. Here we go. NFL
Give me a 3 second
schedule.
before we go live.
Release. Breakdown? Yeah, breakdown. That's a good word. And then say Sixers win important game 3. Here we go. Here we go. Hold on. Ready? Yes. Yes, yes, here we go. 3 people in the house, 3 people on YouTube, and we are officially, here we go, Steven, a go on YouTube. What's up, guys? Welcome in the Rover Sports. Steve Shoemaker here. I'm Spencer G. Rover Sports in the crib. Steve, how are you tonight, my friend?
Doing good, Spence. After a big Sixers dub, couldn't be happier.
Yeah, slide on in here, man. So tonight's game, I mean, we're a Philly show, so we're going to lead with tonight. I mean, how impressive was tonight's performance? You know, a must-win game, really, for the Sixers against the Heat. And we're going to get, of course, to the NFL. But just how incredible was this performance tonight?
You know, Spence, it was really good just seeing stuff out of Embiid, you know, being out since March. You know, he looked good out there. It looked like he hasn't missed a step. He was hitting his threes, and you know, I couldn't ask for more out of a big return.
No doubt, absolutely. And we're going to have some people rolling into the show, so I really appreciate it. We have a lot of really NFL guys that are on this show, Steve.
Okay.
We'll try to sit up a little bit, I guess.
A little posture, never hurt.
Yes, so, you know, as we really look here towards the Sixers, I mean, this was an absolutely huge win tonight against Miami. What guys really impressed you from the Sixers tonight?
You know, all series long, Dario has been great for us. You know, big minutes out of JJ, Bellinelli really hitting their threes. You know, there's just so much this team brings to the court, and they're just so exciting to see. It could be as small as J.A. getting in some scraps with Dwayne Wade, letting him know we're in the building.
Heck yeah.
You know.
Justin Anderson, absolutely. So here I'm going to look at the NFL schedule, and we really have a ton of NFL guys that are watching this show. But, yeah, I don't know. Should we transition? I mean, because tonight's Sixers game, to kind of bounce us back and forth, it was an amazing performance. I mean, everybody stepped up tonight. Miami had no answers for the Philadelphia 76ers tonight. And it was just a game where the Heat, I think, played too quickly. They kind of got full of themselves a little bit. You know, Justice Winslow went out there, and if we pull up the box score tonight, I mean, Justice really, you know, got a little bit full of himself tonight, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, big 20-point win for the Sixers, and it's just going to be interesting to see if we can bring that passion, that heat back in for Game 4, see if we can do the same thing again, and really see if we can put this series away when we get back and for Game 5 in Philadelphia.
No doubt, and now that the Sixers have got what they want, I think they're in control. Embiid was too much. The Heat are going to have to play a lot slower if they want to win. Ben Simmons was absolutely ridiculous tonight. I mean, just the Sixers have so many guys that can hurt you. I mean, you look at Covington, he only had 11, but a quiet 11. JJ with 10, actually. That's quiet, but Bellinelli was amazing. Dario, 21. So those two combined for 42. Joel and Ben, that's like 80 points right there. And then you factor in Justin, who played 9 minutes tonight, really clutch minutes. Cove actually with 26 minutes. This is a dangerous, dangerous team. And for the Heat, they just don't have Hassan Whiteside. Yeah. And the Heat, it wasn't like they played poorly. Yeah. I mean, you look at Josh Richardson, he had big shots. Justice Winslow was incredible
Goran
tonight.
Dragic was on
fire.
They
gave the Sixers their best go-around and still came up losing big, and that's because their defense really hurt, and Dwayne Wade came back down to earth tonight.
Yeah, he wasn't the Dwayne Wade we saw in Game 2. A whole different team. They stuck with us through 3 quarters, and we pulled away in the end, which was big for us. But it's going to be interesting to see how they bounce back in Game 4.
No doubt, no doubt. We are live on Periscope. This is Rover Sports, the show. We are flying up the Periscope boards. Everybody's coming into the house to chill out. And my friend Mateo Shanko, you ever met Shanko?
I've met Shank. I've met him in the studio once.
Yeah, and the Sports Fury, man, our boys in Dallas, Steve. The guys, the Sports Fury, I got to tell you, man, you should check them out on YouTube. You're getting that posture game right, aren't you? For some reason, these chairs just make us look smaller, but we're really big guys. We're big guys, right?
6'8"?
So the Sports Fury, they do live streams for every performance, like every big game. So the Jaguars-Patriots game, they can rack in, all the viewers. And and the NFL schedule release date, I mean, I get way too excited about this. Or I kind of hate people, Steven, that say, you're why start talking about games that are going to happen in September and in April? Like, things can change. You have to wait for training camp. Like, just shut up. Let us enjoy it. Right?
Absolutely.
Isn't that right? Absolutely. Isn't that right? Don't you get tired of those people? No,
but today's a big day for us NFL fans. The schedule's released for the Eagles. Not too many times you can say we're defending Super Bowl champions.
Absolutely. Well, yourself.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great to see how
I'm a Giants guy, so it's tough, man. And the Giants have a brutal schedule. Yeah, darn shame, huh? The Eagles start off with the Falcons. I wanted to see it be Minnesota. What about you?
I think it's going to be a tough game, starting the season off at Thursday night for us. But I think, being home in front of our fans, raising that banner, we're gonna take home the W.
Yeah, so we can look at the Eagles' schedule. I'll look at it, the first week of the season. I think Bears-Packers is a nice game, but that's a really tough start for the Chicago Bears. I mean, let's see if we could see Chicago. I mean, they go Green Bay, Seattle. Oh my God, they're 0-2 to
0-3.
At Arizona. I mean, but no Carson Palmer. They got to try to win that game, but that's a weird game. Tampa Bay at home. So at best, they're going to be 2-2, but you know what I'm saying? And then at Miami, New England, this is a very intriguing Chicago Bears schedule. I mean, I might have to, what I might have to do, Steven, because, we have a lot of NFL fans on the show. I might just have to do every team's schedule, and then I can just rack in all those views, man. All those views.
Long segment.
Look at what Shenko is saying. He's coming at you. Who cares about the Eagles? Mateo S., but a lot of people care about those Eagles, I have to say. So here we go. So let's keep looking at the schedule. I'm taking you through this, Steve. So Chicago, that's a really rough start for them. Who else gets a rough start in week 1?
I think the Saints could have a rough start, divisional matchup against the Bucs. That's not an easy win for them. Jameis Winston's going to come out. They lost Doug Martin. It's going to be interesting to see how their backfield does, but that's not an easy matchup for the Saints to start off the season. Even the next one, the Patriots playing the Texans.
And how about this? I mean, this Monday night game between the Rams and the Raiders. That it is.
That's a tough matchup.
Chucky Gruden. I love that Chucky gets this game, and everybody's going to be staying up late. And remember Sergio Dip last year?
Mm-hmm.
Remember him?
Yep.
Vance Joseph is having the time of his life. You remember Dip? And usually it's Chris Berman. It's the backup crew on Monday Night Football. But I think that they should probably get in the big guns because Jets-Lions, I mean, I know like my good friends are Jets fans, but that Rams game versus the Raiders, John Gruden, and then seeing Sue, seeing Marcus Peters. Do you believe in this Rams hype? And what do you think about them going to Oakland to start off the year?
I think they're going to start off with a big win for them. I know they have John Gruden, and he has big plans for them, for Amari Cooper and Derek Carr, but I think it's going to be a win for them to start the season. They just got Brandon Cooks. People might not agree with me, but I think Todd Gurley's going to have another successful year. Jared Goff's finding his place in LA. They're gonna be a good team once again this year.
And then the Rams, let's see where they go after that. They have Arizona, Chargers. Boy, they have 3 home games after that. Holy crap, they can be 4-0. That's a 4-0 schedule to start the year. That's pretty simple. Absolutely. I mean, Minnesota will be a fascinating game, but they should be 3-0 at worst 2-1. So the Rams get off to a pretty easy schedule as we look at this. That'll be a great game. Cowboys at Carolina. Cam Newton gets thrusted into the spotlight. It's not Giants and Cowboys like we usually see in week 1. Giants play the Jaguars. I'm going to give all my thoughts on the Giants schedule. I think the Giants can beat Jacksonville, though.
Really?
I'm not, even though Jacksonville beat Pittsburgh, I am not sold on the Jaguars this season. They just don't scare you on the schedule. You know? On the road, do they scare you?
Even after beating Pittsburgh in the playoffs, they don't scare you?
Yeah, that's more because of Tomlin. That's more because of not taking them seriously, you know?
I know, but I think Fournette could have another great year if he stays healthy. You know, their defense is good. They're a scary team. When we play them in London this year, that could be a loss for the
You know what'll
Eagles,
be the
too.
game of all games? It's Jimmy Garoppolo, 49ers, Vikings. That's probably my favorite game to start off the schedule. I mean, so you have Seahawks and Broncos. I mean, I know you have to put the West Coast games out there, but I would have found a way to try to put that 49ers Vikings game in prime time. I mean, they stuck it on the first week. Texans, Patriots. It is an incredible first week of games. I'll tell you which games. Jags, Giants, the Texans, Patriots, and 49ers at Vikings. We're immediately going to see about Jimmy Garoppolo, you know, as we go forward. What do you think about the Niners, though, as we look, you know, towards next year?
You know, I was never been convinced that Garoppolo could really lead that team. I know the last couple games of the season he really proved himself, but you know he's the starting quarterback of this team now. He has a full season ahead of him. It's going to be interesting to see how he leads the 49ers to some success, hopefully.
Absolutely. And so, you know what, Steve? I'm going to have a whole schedule breakdown. You want to go a couple more weeks, and then we'll talk some NBA playoffs here on the show?
Might as well.
All right. We're going to do about 5-7 more minutes. But I want to save a lot of thoughts, you know, because I'm going to probably break down almost every team in the NFL because it's such a dead period of time for sports a little bit for me. I got NBA playoffs, but, I mean, I don't care, man. I could freaking throw anything at these guys. So. Yeah, but you look at here, my fan base. The fan base absolutely loves football. Sports Fury is a big Bears guy. So that's going to be wonderful. I think seeing the Bears go to the Packers, but I'm really worried. That's a brutal start for Matt Nagy to start off the season. And, again, I'm going to almost save all of my thoughts. I really think that's, you know, King Braz, I don't know if you live in Mexico, but Rams-Chiefs, I would have liked to see that on U.S. soil. I think that's going to be possibly the game of the year. Absolutely. I remember Texans-Raiders. You remember that, a Monday night fiesta down there? Brocky Osweiler versus the Raiders. You remember that one?
Yeah, that was a big game.
You remember that?
I do.
Yeah, you remember everything about that.
Yeah, I remember the one game, the Chiefs and the Raiders. That was a big game. Remember that? Came down to the game-winning field goal.
No.
Yeah. Last year.
No, Crabtree with the winner. Wasn't it Derek Carr from 1 yard out? You remember that? They kept on holding in the damn end zone.
Didn't it go to overtime and the Raiders pulled out the game-winning field goal?
Not in Kansas City, but in Oakland. Do you remember that? He kept on, you know, Derek Carr ran him down at the end of the game. It was one with Del Rio. They had to win it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You remember that, don't you?
Mark Cooper had that one good game.
And Tyreek Hill was going wild. Yeah,
both of them.
You're absolutely right. That was a hell of a
44
matchup.
fantasy point week.
Hell of a matchup. Wow, RK Belmont is actually from Mexico, and that's really cool, man. That you guys are going to get a really good game. But he says he likes flying to the USA to watch games, and a funny comment there as well from RK. But RK is a big Niners fan. On here, Steven, I have guys that are huge Niners fans. Like, this is almost a whole Niners podcast on here. So we're getting some good questions. Let's just do rapid fire with the listeners. Do you think John Gruden is overrated?
No, absolutely not. I think the Raiders are going to have a very good year. I think they're going to make the playoffs. John Gruden has
Nip the tip.
John Gruden
Nip that tip, man.
John Gruden has a lot of experience. The Raiders are going to be put on the right track.
So you like John Gruden?
I do.
You like old Chuck?
Big John Gruden fan.
Yeah, we'll have to see what they do. I mean, a lot of Raiders fans are pissed because you know Kez King, right? You know how he's a fan favorite there, don't you?
We go Denver.
Yeah, he went to the Broncos, but I think Gruden. I'm really
big pickup in Dougie Martin. He's going to actually utilize Amari Cooper, in my opinion. Derek Carr is an iffy if he's going to have a good year or not.
It's a make it or break it year, but you know, Derek is a guy, like, sometimes when he comes to cold weather places to play the game of football, his arm strength is a little bit concerning. But John, I think, can really get the best out of him. Out of all the hires, like, I really like John Gruden. I'm excited about what he has to bring. I'm excited about him being back in the NFL. I think that a lot of these young coaches are going to be spectacular. I think Patricia is really doing well with the Lions. I love all of their moves, honestly. They cut bait with a lot of guys that were pretty useless guys. You then look at Matt Nagy of Chicago. I know he has a tough start, but I absolutely love what I see out of Bears camp right now. So with Chucky, I mean, one of these guys is going to be overrated. Maybe it's Steve Wilkes of the Cardinals. because I don't really know what direction they're going in. Maybe it's Vrabel. But Gruden, listen, I think he's a decent head coach in this league, but I don't think they're going to get it rolling this year. They're playing the Chiefs. The Chiefs are winning that division probably this year.
Okay. They could pull out a wild card spot. You never know.
Yes. UCF Jaguar. Will the Jags make the postseason next year? What do you think? Can they win the AFC South?
I think so. I think they'll get back to the playoffs this year. I don't know if they're going to have as much success as they did last year. Getting all the way to the AFC Championship, that might be a bit of a stretch for them this year.
I agree.
I'm still seeing them.
Unfortunately, I'm a friend of UCF, but I don't know. It's tough for those teams to get back. I kind of look at the Jaguars, and they're kind of like Mark Sanchez. I just can't really respect Blake and really consider him a huge threat yet. You look at that division. I think Tennessee, I love the moves that Tennessee has made. The Colts are still trash, but really, I guess it's the Houston Texans, man. It's Deshaun Watson. It's Hopkins. It's a healthy J.J. Watt, Zach Cunningham. What do you think about the Texans?
That's what it comes down to. It's injuries. If they can stay off the injury report and stay healthy, Deshaun Watson he's a dangerous man.
Where would you be more scared for the Eagles to have to play, at Houston or at Jacksonville?
I would say at Houston.
Correct.
Just because of how much of a fast-paced offense they have.
My point exactly. So right now in the NBA, Steven, what's up? Should the Trailblazers just blow this thing up? I mean...
Yeah, down by 21 points. Going to be in a 3-0 deficit.
When you look at their roster, Dame, Lillard, McCollum, how much further can this team go? They have Ed Davis. They had a good season, but eventually you just hit that brick, which is the Warriors and the Rockets. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So do you make a trade? Do you tank? I mean, they're kind of going to have some big-time decisions to make now, the Portland Trailblazers.
And I thought Nurkic was a big guy, too, big center. I thought he was going to be successful for them, but he's not doing a whole lot for the Trailblazers.
Joseph Nurkic.
I see no reason why Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum won't want out of Portland.
Some of them's going to leave. But look at this. Nikola Mirotic, I mean, he's lost a lot of weight. He's playing like a different guy. If the Pelicans were in the East and, like, say they drew Boston, they're one of these teams that I'm rooting for to make a run. And that's the thing that kind of sucks about the NBA, is that in the NFL, you can have a team like the Pelicans that's a really intriguing team that gets red hot, almost like Jacksonville, almost like the Giants, the Arizona Cardinals of a couple years ago, Steelers. You have teams from the wild card that can make runs, but in the NBA, you really think that the Pelicans are going to go to 6 games with Golden State? What do you think? Do you think it's possible?
I think they could steal 1 or 2 games from them, definitely. They can't, they're not going to beat Golden State, but you see, like, their star Anthony Davis, he's having a tremendous postseason. Drew Holiday put up 30 points the other game. Mirotic is
Drew's
doing
playing
okay.
unbelievable.
Rondo's doing what he does. I know earlier you were saying they're better off without Boogie.
I absolutely would think so. There's no way Mirotic is playing this well without Boogie. He's lost all this weight. Alvin Gentry's pushing the tempo. And it's just beautiful to see the Pelicans. I want them to close it out in 4, get a lot of rest, and then they're going to have Davis guard Durant. But a lot of people have said AD has never had that playoff moment. Now he finally has that playoff moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I see no reason why they're not going to sweep the Blazers.
Steve Shoemaker right here on Rover Sports. Again, guys, I am going to do a whole breakdown of the Giants' schedule of the San Francisco 49ers. I wanted to get Steve on the show, though, tonight. I wanted to touch base with you guys. I'm so excited about this NFL schedule. Let's just pick out a random week. And first, I'm going to ask you, though, Steven, as we have 5 minutes remaining here,
all right,
what's a dark horse team for this year?
Dark horse, like I was saying earlier, a lot of people may not agree with me, but the Raiders, I see them getting put in the right direction. I think John Gruden's going to utilize Amari Cooper the way he should be utilized, and I don't see no reason why they won't be in the playoffs.
The Oakland Raiders, so you think a wild card for them. I mean, what Amari Cooper. We could talk fantasy. We're going to go rapid fire here with the listeners. So King Braz, Giants, Saquon, or a quarterback. What do you think they're going to do?
I think they're going to get Saquon.
I think it's Saquon as well.
I want the Browns to take him, but because I don't want him in our division with the Eagles. But, I don't see any reason why after just getting Jarvis Landry and now they have Josh Gordon too, why they're not going to take Sam Darnold at number 1.
And the Giants really like him. So we have Kansas City. First of all, Big Chiefers, you probably subscribe because, spoiler alert, Steven, I have Patrick Mahomes. I either have him winning the MVP or coming second in the MVP voting this year.
That's
Spoiler alert.
That's interesting.
And I have the Chiefs winning the AFC this year.
I agree with that. Absolutely.
You think the Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl?
No, I think they're winning the division, but they're not going to the Super Bowl.
I said the Chiefs are going to win the Chiefs are
agree
going
with
to
you.
the Super Bowl.
No
there
way.
you go.
No
because I was like, whoa,
No
that was
way.
easy.
Nope. No.
That was easy. It was like I basically was like saying like the sky is blue or whatever. Yeah,
Is it?
mm-hmm.
No,
Yeah,
it's not.
possibly. It was like basically saying like mowing the grass on Sundays is fun. Yeah, okay.
You mow the
Chiefs
grass?
go to the Super Bowl.
You mow
Not
the
not
grass?
really. No.
No, not a big grass.
Not a big grass mower. Listen, that was so funny though. That reaction. I said Chiefs are making it to the Super Bowl, and you're just like, yeah, okay. All right, so let's look really. I don't think the Ravens are going to do anything. It's kind of boring. The Thursday night schedule is really good. I'm going to go rapidly through the schedule here. I think the Giants should take Saquon Barkley for sure, Steve. Do you think the Saints are back, Steven? Do you think the NFC is loaded? What teams in the NFC do you really like?
Yeah, I definitely see the Saints going far again in NFC. Captain Kirk taking over the Vikings. They're another dangerous team. The Rams.
Yeah.
I see the postseason for the NFC being the exact same as it was for last season too.
All right, let's look at tight end prospects, okay? Up or down, just tell me. Kobe Fleener.
Down.
But Jimmy Graham.
Jimmy Graham, big fantasy guy.
Eric
Big
Ebron,
guy.
you think Andrew Luck's coming back?
Yes, I do, but I'm going to say down for Eric Ebron.
Yeah. Bills, Charles Clay, nah.
Down.
Oakland, Jared Cook, maybe.
I'm going to say up.
Maybe. What do you think about AJ Green? Can he bounce back?
He's not a tight end, but he is going to have he's going to do what AJ Green does.
Fire fantasy questions in here. It's never too early to start talking fantasy. We were having a real roundtable debate. We should have gotten on that show today. And listen, big Chiefers. I think you guys will make the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes is my fantasy guy, and Leonardo there. He seems to be freaking pumped about it. Jabari is absolutely right. Vikings 49ers is going to be an amazing game. Do you think that the Patriots are going to go after Lamar Jackson? You think that they're going to get a backup quarterback this year?
Lamar Miller?
Lamar Jackson, from Louisville.
Oh, backup
Louisville.
for Tom Brady?
Yeah.
That's a sour topic for Tom Brady.
It's a hot stove story, isn't it, Steve?
They think he's coming to the end of his career, and I think Tom has another good year in him. I think it's safe to have a good backup like that for your future. He's a great quarterback. I don't see no reason why they wouldn't take him.
So do you think that the Niners do highway robbery with the Jimmy trade? What do you think?
Yeah.
So what would it take Tom Brady to make that trade seem like nuts, like to make that trade seem almost decent that they kept on to him? You know what I'm saying? Like how many more years of Tom do you think the Patriots should want and expect?
I think it depends on how far they go. If they get back to the Super Bowl this year, this could be his last year. If Tom could want more out of
and
his
they have
career.
a chance. And you look at that Patriots defense; they weren't even a juggernaut. They barely beat Jacksonville. Tennessee, Mike Mularkey was not ready. They barely got past the Steelers in the regular season. It was one of the weakest conferences we've seen in a while. A lot of carnage. The AFC is still wide open for the Patriots. Who knows if Deshaun Watson will take that step or if Mahomes will take that step. So if I don't think that Tom is retiring or is going to hold out. I think that that's a whole bunch of hot air that people just really want to talk about.
Yeah, and it's also interesting if you take a look at their receiving core. They just got rid of their two top receivers in Brandon Cooks and Danny Amendola. Julian Edelman's coming off that big injury. There's that huge question mark on Gronk. I know Chris Hogan could have another big year for them, but it's like up in the air who Tom Brady is going to be throwing the football to this year.
Shout out to Week 6 of the NFL season. This is my favorite week because we have Eagles-Giants on Thursday night. Thursday night, I think Fox stacked the deck. We finally
in New York.
We have great Thursday night games. I mean, we do have Vikings-Rams. Every game that the Vikings and Rams are a part of, they're going to get huge draws. Boy, Chiefs-Patriots again.
Sunday
Mahomes. And then how about this?
Oh, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Game of the year.
Rodgers. Monday night.
How about that at Lambeau Field? Who's making the trip?
You making the leap?
I'm talking to the Niner Empire right now, man. I want to go to Lambeau Field, man. Maybe we can have a meetup, freaking fly down a private plane out of San Fran.
You're buying, I'm going.
This is Niner zone, man. Jimmy Garoppolo, when I do a video on Jimmy G, that thing gets up to $30K before you could say the word
Spotlights on Jimmy G.
Nipper.
Monday Night Football.
Absolutely right. So,
October
boy, oh
5th.
boy, that's going to be
15.
that's going to be the game of all games. The game of all games. This is a wonderful week. Jets and Browns. Do you like that game? I like that we have rookie quarterbacks that could be playing against each other.
You know, the Jets aren't a tasty team. They're not a team you want to watch. And
Right.
even the Browns, they have two stud receivers, but you know, it's going to see interesting what they do with that first pick.
Woo! This is hot right here. Look at this. A little
Well,
Packers Rams, a little Saints Vikings.
This is week 7.
Week 7.
Week 7,
Week
another
7
big week.
showing some teeth. Let's see week
Thursday.
9. Packers, Patriots,
Sunday night.
Rams and Saints.
I don't like that Monday night
It's
game.
always the
Titans,
Rams.
Cowboys.
And Niners. Look, the Niners hosting Thursday night. Thursday night's beautiful, and I like that. I really do. I like Mariota. I think that's going to be
It's
a
the
really
Eagles
good
bye
game.
week, week 9.
And then we look at here, Giants, Niners,
Sunday
Cowboys.
night, Cowboys, Eagles.
Cowboys,
at the link.
Eagles. This is fun. Panthers, Steelers.
I like that Thursday game.
You do.
You see Pittsburgh taking
I mean,
that
but
one.
Pittsburgh always wins at Thursday. It's kind of boring. And then Packers, Seahawks. I mean, these
Week
Thursday
11.
games are stacked. Look at these Thursday games. Saints, Cowboys on Thursday. Jaguars, Titans, Chargers, Chiefs.
There's that Sunday,
Thursday
October
football.
28th.
It's
Eagles
looking
and
great.
Jaguars.
Eagles and Giants on freaking Thursday night. Thursday, that's the real big news. Is Thursday night football does not suck anymore. You know?
Yeah, a lot of people were upset that even players that they had to play on Thursday, but
And now they are getting tested big time. And
Yeah.
then Christmas Day. I love when we
Christmas.
get close to the end of the season.
I don't like those Christmas
Saturday games.
I don't like those Texans
Why?
at Jets.
You get all festive, and you
That's
get
true.
like the
easy win for the Texans, and then Browns at the Broncos.
You get great
Who do you think's
instrumental
gonna win
music.
that one? Browns
What?
and Broncos. You think the Browns could pull it out?
No,
No.
Case Keenum.
Case Keenum taking over
Boring,
that Denver.
boring.
That Denver offense.
Boy, I just see whoever goes to the Browns, I don't know. Maybe Todd Haley takes over mid-year, you know. We'll have to see what Hugh has.
They
and
might bring LeBron over. You never know.
Brownie cakes.
Anything could happen.
Great stuff, Steve. You hung in there. You did pretty good.
Did pretty good.
pretty good.
Pretty
I hope you guys had fun. I'm going to be back at it tonight, just releasing a lot of vids. Be on the lookout. Thanks, Periscope. Thanks, YouTube, Rover Sports.
Let's go Sixers! Woohoo!